So, welcome back to today's video. It's incredibly windy. We've got the 300C here, and Jason, look how dirty this. I mean, do you know, I got stuck at home and it was just wheel spinning at the back. That's happened. No diff in that, unfortunately. Today we have a video with a few things happening. There's a few things happening this way.
There's a new address.
There's a new address.
Well,
ooh.
You see that unit?
This is the unit. So this is where Jason is now.
That's my magic place. That's where the magic happens.
That's where the magic is happening.
And then, you see where the van's parked?
This is the van.
This unit came available.
Ooh.
And me being me.
Said, do you know what? I've got that one. I'll have another one.
Well, we're really busy.
Yeah.
And quite often, more than not, especially with this, the flooding, we've been getting inundated with extra cars and we've not had any room for them. So, it's got a few uses. Essentially, it's going to be a toy shop. But there's a couple of things. Let me show you.
Let's go this way, because this is one of those things in business. I know we did a video a few weeks ago about the other side of stuff happening and then this side happening, but electric, bloody, that's all right, isn't it? Cool.
Cool, isn't it?
Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is the man cave everyone wished they had. I wish I had something like this, because
come in.
Yeah, this would be lovely. Oh, door goes down, look at this.
So,
very exciting.
What I've done is I've made JW a very clear space for detailing and put a third bay in there.
Right.
So we've now got 3 fully functioning detailing bays, which I'll show you later.
Yep.
But what that meant was my stuff, i.e. the 16i, the Fiesta and Sienna's Fiesta, needed a permanent residence.
Because they're going to be outside for winter.
Out of the weather. So my brain was, well, as you can see, we've managed to do with some adaptions 3 cars over there, and we've still got workable, valuable room for 2 cars in front of each other.
Because this is a customer's car right now.
Yeah. So this vehicle's here for storm damage. The window regulator's broken. It's got flooded. So the car's here awaiting preparation and repair.
Right.
Again, it's not in my way.
Yeah.
So my way of thinking from a business point of view is, if it can pay some of its way in helping JW do some more bits, perfect. But then point 2 is, my very important to me collection of motors will remain dry, and which is why they're sheeted up, because we've been doing some different bits and pieces in there, brake calipers, etc. So we're keeping them sheeted. The Clio is a friend's car, unfortunately got damaged last week. Motorbike hit it.
I will say I absolutely love these at the moment. Keep looking at them. So this really don't help seeing one of these in here.
Ben's car, Ben and I went and bought that 12 and a half years ago.
Yeah. Oh, this is the car you were talking about the other day, right? So he's had this.
It's incredibly important to him. He's had like many dailies on the way. He will never sell this car.
Yeah, that's a shame, because
he's probably put on 40, 50,000 of his own miles on it.
Yeah.
It's
just as a fun car, or
yeah,
just as a bit of fun.
It's his backup car, fun car, and it's in incredibly good order.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's come to have an accident, so it's going over to Terry for a repaint.
Right.
Down one side and the door.
I'm going to say now, before we carry on, this generation, if you are not buying now, and I keep saying this every time I see something, is the next generation of come-up car where they're going to be dear. They're going to be dear. They're going to be hard to find.
Environment.
Oh yeah, it's like
it's
tucked away, lovely, isn't it? Yeah.
We love tucked.
I'm a big fan of this generation. Well, anything French, but yeah, next generation. If you can get your hands on one nice one, mate, you need to crack on with it, in my opinion.
Next up to talk about is this very bizarre building we've inherited.
Yeah, I will say, right, when this initially happened, this place didn't look like this, because this was like, there was a toilet here, there's a rack in,
because the staircase blocks the toilet.
Yeah, which is odd.
I'll send a picture.
Really odd.
It was in the middle of the room. There was some racking here, and it was just too busy. I couldn't even think straight. So thank you to my good friends Elliot and Jimmy. They came along and they did a couple of days' labour. We had to buy 6 cents of wood, and we managed to make the stairs safe. We've managed to move some under storage for under the stairs, like storage space. We've put this wall here to support the structure.
Yeah.
And then this is another little area of me to keep consumables, fast forward,
play around stuff.
So it's no one really cares about that, I'm sure.
No.
But basically, it's a bit of JW storage. But this leads me on to my next thing. You have no idea about what I'm going to do. So
here we go.
So
God.
The 1600i.
Right, here she is.
Now, if I was going to grade this car out of 10, at the moment, it's living on the border of being a 6.
You can't have that. Here we go. Right, so let me just stop you there, because when I said about a month ago, when does it come apart then for winter, because you get itchy, don't you? You get itchy feet for restoring a car, because you love doing that.
Holes in my arms.
Yeah.
Right, so okay, so as it stands, it is a pretty standard RS1600i with probably just about 100 horsepower, which is great, but it's great.
Right.
But it's not, and it is and it isn't. So this car is for me. And I'm not really fussed about what the purists think and what other people say. I'm going to modify it. Now,
Okay. Oh, okay.
I am going to do it, and you have no idea what I'm going to tell you. So, my brain always goes along the line of what can we do to modify a car that's in keeping with period modifications. So, I'm a big fan of the brand Turbo Technics. Now let me give you a little bit of rundown history about Turbo Technics. They opened in 1981, okay? Just around the time turbocharging was the thing, okay? In 1981 they developed a turbocharger kit for the Austin Metro. Right.
Oh, phone goes off, what a surprise.
For the Austin Metro. Now, it was groundbreaking. Next up, Ford said, might be an idea that we could offer a turbo package for the upcoming RS600i and XR3s. So, this is where I'm going. So,
oh my God.
Now, listen, I'm being completely upfront. This car has never been to Turbo Technics in its entire life. It's never been there. It was never breathed upon them. I'm going to change that. So, I am going to do a period turbo conversion.
Right.
Using components from a Turbo Technics kit.
Right.
So that it's period correct, following the guidance of the brochure, because I'm an idiot. I love a brochure.
Right.
Right. And then we're going to get rid of some of the parts that are going to hold us back. Okay. So I've been on the phone to George while you were there today, but I told him not to tell you what the plans were.
Yeah.
And yes, it's going to have a turbocharged, period correct looking Turbo Technics conversion. That's happening.
What do I think of that? The comments. What do we reckon? What do I think of that? I appreciate what you're saying, but it's also hard these days to look at that and go, "I want to modify that."
Yeah,
that's really hard to like get past, isn't it?
You know what it is? This car is not part of my business.
No.
This car is mine. Yeah. So, poor decision if I was going to look at this as a business decision.
Yeah, because you're then
going to devalue it.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But when I get in and turn that key and it burbles and it makes all those noises that I am missing from an RS Turbo, none of that matters. Yeah. Because I'm in this car for the long haul. Yeah. And again, it's period modification correct.
Right. So I'm trying to think about what people are probably going to ask in the comments. So why don't you just sell this and buy an RS Turbo?
Because I want a 69.
Because you want a 69.
And there are Turbo Technics converted vehicles out there.
Right.
And the brochure advertised at the time the unstoppable 170 brake horsepower conversion. That was their headline act. Right. So why wouldn't you do it? If you're using, and this is the good bit. So Ford Motor Company was so impressed with Turbo Technics' conversion that they used all of the components, about 80% of the components, to build your Series 1.
So it's a pre-Series 1 is what it is, and not pre-RS Turbo.
So, Ford went to Turbo Technics and said, we want to go rallying. We need some more horsepower from our 1600Is. What can you do? Turbo Technics came up with the turbo kit. The exhaust manifold that is on your Series 1 was Turbo Technics designed and then sold to Ford to reproduce and build the RS Turbo. So, it's going to be like an evolution, but back then. Yeah. And what I get from it is, I'll be proudly happy to open that bonnet
and go, ooh,
this is what it is, and at the same time, have a couple hundred horsepower and be back where I want to be. And that's happening. My mind is made up.
I don't know what to say, because I thought you were going to say It's going to Martin's next week and we're ripping it apart.
No,
do the underfloor and all that sort of
No.
business.
So what's happening is this car is going to be going onto my 2-poster.
Yeah.
And you'll be invited along
Oh,
to...
mate, we'll be here for every step of the way.
The engine is going to be coming out. We're then going to sort all that back soil out in the engine bay. We're then, the RS Turbo engine is being dropped off here. We're then going to check component fits, and this will not be a Series 1 conversion. This will be a 1600i Turbo Technics conversion,
right,
with a few tweaks so that it runs modern management. Because I just want it to start and I just want it to match. But visually, it will be off the brochure that you could have gone and got at your Ford dealership.
Yeah.
Oh, these guys down at Turbo Technics, they can get some more horsepower out of this car.
Yeah,
and that's where I'm going with it.
Okay.
So I don't care what people say.
I know.
Or do.
I don't even know what to say right now because I thought you were genuinely saying you're going to repaint it or something. No. That's what I thought this conversation was going to be.
It doesn't need it.
No, I know it doesn't need it. That's why I was like, how can you perfect this to that level?
I'm interested in restoring the floor of this car. I'm interested in having fun in it.
Yeah.
And that is where I'm going with this car. So I'm going to utilise the components I've got.
Yeah.
I'm not buying any more cars. I love the way it drives and I love the way it looks.
You just want some more power.
But I want some more power, but I'm very interested in showing people what can be done with a bit of imagination and reproducing a few of these Turbo Technics components. Okay. I've spoken to George today, showing him how the crossover works, where the manifold and the turbo join in the intercooler, and it's going to be a hell of a little journey for it.
I still don't even know what to say. I'm like, you've said a lot, and I'm trying to process that. What if you said it on face value, like you're taking the engine out of that and putting an RS Turbo engine in it? Yeah. That's not what's happening, because it's going down the route of
fundamentally
something else that was created back then.
I'll show you a picture. This is a genuine Turbo Technics converted vehicle. Okay, so the changes are adaptations to the inlet manifold. It still retains all of its authenticity of a 1600i. Inlet plenum, the rocker cover, but you have a decompressioned low comp piston bottom end to accompany for a turbocharger, and obviously these adaptations were made with crossover pipes, etc. So this is where we're going with this car. Yes, they never made one at Ford's, but they did offer it
at Turbo Technics in theory
6 months later. So yeah, that's what's happening. She's going to have a big spinny boy bolt to the front of it, and we're going to go off boosting.
I just don't know what to say, mate. People are going to be like, you're ruining a 1600i.
Let them. Because it's mine.
Thing is, if this was 20 years ago and you were doing this, there wouldn't be batting an eyelid, but because of the values, that's the issue probably.
Jamie, it's broken down 17 times.
You're not interested in it. Is that another reason?
Right, so we've got a few things that are building up in my brain, right? I come to use the car, I don't know whether I'm going to get from there to there.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, some days it's great, some days it doesn't want to know. Okay, what options have I got? Right, let's go and try and find all of the original management, the ECUs, blah blah blah, we've got to try and retain these twin coils and the authenticity of the car. I'm not interested. I literally love the way it looks. I don't love naturally aspirated. It's cool when it's this in the future.
Yeah, I get that.
But I just feel like I'm wringing a cat's neck every time I get in it.
Let me know in the comments below what you guys think.
Listen, these cars are not for me garage queens. They are for 5 months of the year in this UK. I want to be able to use it. And when I do,
enjoy it.
And when I am using it, I want it to be making the noises and the power and the sounds and the reliability that I have come accustomed to in my previous generation Mark III's.
Right. on that bombshell, as Tolkien likes to say.
On that bombshell. And yeah, but equally, if you've got... Yes, people are going to moan and go, you can't do that to that car. I think we've got so caught up in the values and everything of these vehicles.
Keeping it stock.
Keeping it stock.
At least you've got bollocks to say it.
I'm not keeping it stock for the next guy. It ain't happening.
No, that's true.
And then once it's done, look at some of the right track focused Mark III Escorts that are out there. They're genuine 16Is or turbos. They've got 300 and 400 horsepower running through them with 6-speed gearboxes out of other stuff.
Carbon fibre all over them and stuff.
And everyone embraces those. Yes, I am a standard monkey.
Yes.
But then my last cars weren't standard. They looked standard, but they still went like a scolded cat. And that is where we're going.
Right, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about what's about to happen. If you got to this point in the video, thank you so much. We are going to follow it. That is going to be insane. Cheers for that, Jason. I'm subscribed to what you think about it. Right, it's happening. We'll see you on the next one.